Figure 3 to 15. Your first game, congrats. While the game is playing, you can view it in the game view, Figure 3 to 15, and you can continue to make edits via the inspector or in the scene window. Just keep in mind that when you do this, nothing will save. If you move a sprite while the game is running, it will then jump back to the position where it last was as soon as you stop it again. Use this for previewing changes, live, but not for making permanent alterations to your code. Try and drum this into your head right now. It's not uncommon to move a bunch of things around and change a bunch of code, only to find out that you forgot to stop the game from running first and lose it all. To stop the game at any time, just hit the play button again. Note that if you want the game to be full screen when you hit play, you can click maximize on play. This is useful when you're testing your game properly, or you just want to have a good go at it. Figure 3 to 16 is what our game currently looks like when blown up. 52. Figure 3 to 16. The same game, only massive. The camera. The observant among readers may have noticed that there are more than just two game objects in the hierarchy view. The third object is called main camera, and if you select it, you'll see that this is the white camera icon that is floating in your scene view. Main camera is a game object, like your sprites, but with a camera component rather than a sprite. When you add one of these to a scene, it defines where the player's perspective is and what they're going to see on the screen. Try moving the camera around and then hitting play, and you'll find that it changes where the squares appear on the screen. The squares haven't moved, but your perspective has changed. It may feel odd that your camera is treated in the exact same way as a sprite, but this is what you need to understand about Unity. Everything is a game object. Scripts do not run unless they are attached to game objects, and this may require you to rethink the way you approach your code if you're used to other languages. But once you get to grips with it, it's a powerful and flexible way of working. P.S. This is not what is meant by object-oriented programming. It's related, but I'll explain more in a subsequent chapter. Since we're looking at the camera, let's edit something that you may be finding frustrating: the background color of your game view. Click the camera and you'll see a setting called background in the inspector, which is currently blue. If you select the color, you'll be given the chance to set this to a new color. Choose black, that way your blue squares will stand out a lot more clearly. 53. Saving your project and scene. Seeing as you're probably incredibly pleased with this amazing creation, it's time you go about saving it to make sure nothing bad comes to it. There are actually two things you need to save here: the project and the scene. The scene is what you are viewing through your scene window, and it encompasses everything in your hierarchy right now: two squares and a camera. For all intents and purposes, a scene is a level in most cases, though it could also refer to a title screen or an options menu. It is essentially any collection of game objects and scripts that you'll want to load at some point in your game. To save your project, use the menu along the top and choose File Save Project. To save the scene, you'll first want to create a new subfolder in your Assets folder, call it Scenes. Now go to File Save Scene, Figure 3 to 17. When the dialog comes up, select the Scenes folder. To save the scene, you'll first want to create a new subfolder in your Assets folder, call it Scenes. Now go to File Save Scene, Figure 3 to 17. When the dialog comes up, select the Scenes folder you just created and call the file Level 1. When you have multiple scenes in your project, you'll be able to switch between them simply by double-clicking them from the Scenes folder. Figure 3 to 17. Saving our scene.